Hi there, this is a follow-up video for the Hungarian rings puzzle, and this is in response to Live Simplified Life, who is asking about a more in-depth description about how I solved this state, state 1, in the original main video. If you want to see it, it should be down below as a link in the description. Now, this solved state involves the left ring being completely populated by black and red balls, alternating, and on the right ring we have blue and yellow balls. Of course, there are a couple intersections, so you can only have one type of color there. Now, before we get into the scramble and then start to solve and I talk through how I do certain things, what we're going to do is first show you a small bit of something. So, one moment please. Okay, so here's the first thing I'd like to show you. On the left ring, what we have here is mostly black and red balls, 16 of them, except that we have 4 yellow balls right here. And you'll notice something about them in that they are separated equally across around the ring. In between every two balls are a section of 4, just like that. And that is for a very specific reason. You can rotate the left ring as much as you'd like, and every 2 yellow balls can line up exactly at the intersection. So you can rotate it like that, you can also rotate it like that, and for completeness sake, also like that. Now, once you align 2 of those yellow balls on the intersections, you can rotate the right ring any amount that you'd like. Then you can rotate the left ring again, and then line up a couple more of those yellow balls. I might call them pockets. So in this case, we have the yellow and the blue ball lined up, and then we can rotate the right ring again. And once again, you can again rotate the left ring. Whoops. You can rotate the left ring so that the different pockets line up again at the intersection. Now, if you follow this sort of pattern or rule, you'll notice that 16 of these balls never get shuffled around. You only disturb 4 of them, these 4 pockets. That is crucial for the final phases of this solve. So, let's scramble this a little bit further, and then we're going to look at a solution. Okay, I'd say this is pretty much scrambled. Now, if you want to skip this first phase, which is to populate the left ring completely, you can look down in the description for timestamps where you can jump into different parts in this video. But first off, let's solve. Okay, so when you are going to make the left ring, we're going to need to make it in 2 halves. So you want half of the ring to be solved over here, and half of it over here. That will be the first bit. So let's say we start with black, right here at the intersection at the top. We're going to keep alternating. So once we get one ball that's appropriate there, we can rotate the left ring so that that ball moves out of the intersection and opens up the next slot. Now we've got what we need as red, so that's good. We can continue moving this solved section out into the left ring, and then we can rotate the right ring to put the next ball in that pattern. So we need a black ball now here. So we'll rotate the right ring until we come across a black ball, just like that. Then we're going to move the left ring out of the way again, just like that. And then we're going to get another ball into that intersection. So in this case, we need red. And then we're going to move that solved bead out of the way, just like that. And then we're going to put in a black bead with the right ring. So we're going to carry on until we get half of the balls in the left ring all solved and completed, and that will be about 10 of those beads. That looks about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's an extra right there. The next thing we're going to do, as I mentioned, is we're going to start building on the right side. Now, something tricky that you might not expect is that if you were to combine the 2 halves, like the half here and the half here, the 2 colors should also match. So we're going to keep that in mind. But the color you want to start off with as you start building off to the right is the opposite color to what we have right now at this terminating bead right there. So we have red there, we're going to have black here, like that. Then we're going to start building off to the right. So let's see, we've got black, we'll move it out of the intersection. Next we want red. Now the problem is there is no red here that we can make use of. This is all solved already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking these guys here. So I'm going to rotate the right ring until I get one of these red balls here. In fact, we can rotate it all the way around to the top intersection, because this is the only bead that we've technically solved right now. So we have lots of room. We got this red bead up there. We'll move it out of the intersection into the left ring so that we can bring this solved section back up to the top of the ring, just like that. There we are. Now we can move this red bead into the section as such. Now we can continue the solved pattern by moving it back into the right ring, just like that, and then continue on. So we need a black bead, so that's a good one right there. We'll put that up there, then we'll move the right ring, and then just keep going on until we meet some weird situation, which is pretty much right now. Black, red, we need black here. The only problem is we can't bring the black beads up there. If we do that, just like that, and then move this out of the way, you're going to start disturbing our perfect line of 10 beads, which we don't want to do. So let's bring this back up like that and figure out a way. So the secret to this is that we want to actually get one of these beads and put it into the left ring near the top so that we have room for this guy. So what we're going to do is, let's consider this black ball right there. We're going to move the right ring until the black ball is in the top intersection. Then we're going to move it out of the way, whoops, into the left ring, just like that. Then we can return this solved section right up against the top intersection. Then we can rotate the left ring so that this black ball, which actually belongs in the right section, back into that intersection like so. Then we can move that into the right ring as we wanted it. So let's continue on. Next up is a red bead that should go here. There is no red bead that's free except this one that's right here. So let's do a similar trick. We're going to rotate the right ring so that the red bead goes up into the intersection. Then you can move it into the left ring as such. Then you can readjust the solved right section so that it is right up against the intersection. Then you can move that red bead back down into the intersection and then rotate the solved section again back into the right. We can continue this pattern, so let's do so. We've got black, let's move it out of the way, bring back the solved right state, and then bring the black ball right back in that area. And we can do the same with that red ball, like that. And now we have another scenario. We need black, and black is over there, but it's too close, the black ball is too close to this section right here. So if I were to bring it up like so, all of this will get disturbed. So what do we do? Well, what we can do is to actually bring it down into this bottom intersection. A bit weird, right? If we rotate this right ring, we can bring it all the way back to the top section, or intersection as such, and we don't disturb this right solved state or this left solved state. Now we can bring this black bead into the left ring, albeit this time it's a little higher. Then we can get this right section and bring it back right up against the top intersection, just like that. Then we can rotate the left ring, just like that, and then we can continue on as usual. So let's get the red out of the way. We bring back the right section, then we rotate the left ring so that the red bead joins, and there we go. Now we've got both halves of the circle done. And again, as I mentioned, you want these two colors to be the same. Okay, from here, what you're going to do is to take the left ring, and you want to rotate it so that its half is lined up with the bottom intersection, like so. Then we're going to take this right half, we're going to rotate it so that it is lined up with the bottom intersection as well, except that its end or terminating ball is right at the intersection as such. Now to complete the left ring, we're going to alternate. So we're going to rotate the left ring 1 unit clockwise, then the right ring 1 unit counterclockwise, and you just want to keep repeating those 2 steps until you end up with a complete left ball. And you've got phase 1 done. Okay, so next up we're going to do something a little bit ingenious, I think. What we're going to do is actually break up the left ring. Now this is in the nature of most puzzles, that you need to slightly break up what you've solved before to let you have a little more wiggle room with the rest of your solve. So what we're going to do is take these 2 beads and move them completely opposite, like so. So let's rotate this here, just like that. And what you want to make sure is that there are 4 beads separating this, well, we're forming a pocket now, a couple of them, or 4 of them, in the right ring. So you want these 2 pockets to be all the way to the right of the ring, and you want to have 4 beads between these 2 pockets and the intersections that are closest to them. Once you do that, you can rotate the left ring all the way around as well, just like that. So you notice that these 2 pockets have 4 beads between it and the intersection, just like that. Then we're going to rotate the whole right ring as much as you'd like. So now all of this is set up for the final solve. It might not look it, but that's where we are now. So let us look. For the right ring, we're going to be alternating blue and yellow beads. So right now, as I can see, we've already got a band of 4 solved. That's good. Next up, we're going to have a break in it. So we're going to maintain these 4 pockets in both rings, just to keep things a little easier for us. And then we're going to continue on. So right here, we need a yellow ball. Now you might not believe it, but if you were to alternate, you'd have blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, and then yellow. We're going to save the spot for blue later on. For now, we need to keep the black and red balls there, because they're not going to be here, they have to be here somewhere, and that's the most orderly way to keep them. Okay, so I can see in our pockets of 4, we've got a yellow ball here. That's perfect. We can rotate the left ring as much as we want, as long as we land with a couple of pockets right at the intersection, just like that. So I moved up the yellow ball here, so we should be good. Let's move the right ring to the right, or clockwise if you prefer, and then you want to continue solving. So right here at the top, we need a blue ball right there. So we can rotate the left ring just like so, and we are done. We're good. So we continue the pattern. We see that we already got this solved pretty much. We can skip that pocket, and next up we want a blue bead. We also have a blue bead. That's perfect. Again, just to hammer it in, we do have a pocket, and every pocket should have 2 like balls around it. Now we're going to continue that. We've got blue, we've got yellow, so the next thing we're missing is a blue right here. If you want this blue ball to go over here, you're going to actually end up disturbing the bottom here. And this is already part of our solved pattern, as you can see. It's alternating blue, yellow, blue, and we don't want to break this up. However, if you are keen in checking what you're doing, if you're a little clever, or any other weird way to say this, you can actually move this blue ball over here, which will result in this yellow ball being kicked down to here. And if you pay attention here, you have yellow ball right there. It gets replaced by a yellow ball. So effectively, nothing changed at the bottom, which is perfect. And of course, we've got the blue bead right up there. So let's continue on. We're going to turn the right ring until we get to another unsolved bit right there. So as you can see, we've got blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow. We need a yellow bead right here. In order to fill that in, we can bring this yellow bead there. But we want to make sure that a blue ball remains here. That's perfect. We can just rotate the whole thing. And we replace a blue with a blue. So that's perfect. And now we've got yellow here. And just like that, I think this was a pretty quick solve. All of the blue and yellow beads are solved now in bands of 4. The final step is to put these two blue and yellow balls back into a spot in the right ring. So we can rotate this as much as we'd like. Okay, so here we see we have a couple of yellow balls and a couple of blue balls. That's lined up with the yellow and blue, which is perfect. We can rotate the left ring. And finally, the final blue and yellow balls join the right ring, just like that. Now we just need to rotate the right ring until the red and black balls end up back in the left ring as such, just like that. Now, at this point in time, you might have one of 3 states. You could have a solved state where the left and right rings are alternating in color, which you don't see right now. The other state is you can have a couple triplets like this in black and red. And in this case, you can have 4 triplets of black and red. To solve this state, it's very simple. You just need to follow exactly as I do right now. And just like that, we've got the whole thing solved. A complete band, or now a ring, on the left, and also a semi-complete ring on the right. Now, we're going to jump cut, and we're going to see that other weird middle state that you need a special algorithm to solve. Alrighty, this is the final state you might find yourself in. This is when you have 2 triplets of black and red beads, and to solve it, you just need to follow along as I do. Now, you want to get the 2 middle beads in the 2 triplets and line them up with the 2 intersections, just like that. Then you want to follow the many steps I'm about to show you. Now, when I start this algorithm, you might want to go into the settings logo. It looks like a gear in the YouTube player. You can change the setting speed to 1x, which is what you're watching right now, real time. Then you can watch 0.5x, which is half the time, or you could watch this video at 0.25x, which is a quarter of the time. Nonetheless, we're going to start the algorithm very soon, so get ready. In 3, 2, 1. And there you go. You should be now completely satisfied with the solve, in that you now have a state where you have the left ring completely populated by black and red alternating balls, and on the right side we also have alternating balls, this time in blue and yellow. So hopefully this helped you live simplified life. He did, or she did, ask to see just the solve part right after getting the left ring done, but I put everything through just for completeness sake. So you can always look down in the description if you want to skip back, forward to any specific part in the video. As always, thanks for watching.